A small, overlooked coin sitting in a jar could be your ticket to a life of luxury. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, specifically the 1964 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, has recently garnered attention for being worth up to $4 million in certain rare conditions. What if that penny is in your possession? Are you ready to dig through your change jar? Or will you let this golden opportunity slip away? Keep watching because I'm about to reveal why this unassuming coin is creating such a frenzy in the collector's market. Now, before we dive in, here's a quick question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? I mean, really looked at them. Don't worry, you're not alone if you've been ignoring them. But after today, I guarantee you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Let's take a step back to understand why the 1964 D Lincoln penny is so valuable. 1964 was a pivotal year in American coinage. The Denver Mint produced millions of these pennies, but only a few had rare errors that make them incredibly valuable today. These errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. Each mistake turns an ordinary penny into a treasure worth more than its weight in gold. Literally. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts for these error coins, especially if they're in mint condition. Recently, one such penny sold for an eye-watering $4 million at auction. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Retire comfortably? It's not just a dream. It's a possibility hiding in plain sight. But wait, before you grab a magnifying glass and start examining your pennies, there's something crucial you need to know. Not all 1964 D pennies are worth millions. In fact, the vast majority are worth only their face value. So how do you tell if yours is one of the rare gems? That's what we're going to uncover next. Stay with me because missing this next part could mean the difference between finding a fortune and missing out entirely. Alright, here's the key to identifying a valuable 1964 D penny. First, look for the D Mint mark under the date on the front of the coin. Then, inspect the coin's details using a magnifying glass or loupe. Pay special attention to the lettering and the Lincoln portrait. Are there signs of doubling? Is the mint mark repunched? Does the coin look off-center or have any unusual features? These are the hallmarks of an error coin. Next, consider the coin's condition. Grading plays a huge role in determining value. A coin in uncirculated condition with sharp details is far more valuable than one that's been through decades of wear and tear. If you think you've found a promising candidate, don't try to clean it. That could damage its value. Instead, consult a professional coin dealer or grading service to get an expert opinion. And here's where urgency comes in. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever, but it won't stay that way forever. Trends shift and prices fluctuate. The time to act is now. Imagine the regret of discovering too late that you've been sitting on a fortune. Don't let that happen to you. Before we wrap up, let's pause for a moment of humor. You know, if pennies had feelings, the 1964 D Lincoln penny must be having the ultimate glow-up story. From pocket change to life-changing fortune. It's like the Cinderella of the coin world. So, what's the takeaway? Check your pennies, do your research, and don't hesitate to seek expert advice. Who knows? That small coin hiding in your home could be the key to unlocking a future of financial freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine holding a penny in your hand. A simple, unassuming coin. But what if I told you that very penny could be worth up to $3.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. That's life-changing wealth hidden in plain sight. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1969 D Lincoln penny has captivated collectors worldwide, how to spot one, and why time is of the essence if you own one. Don't let the opportunity of a lifetime slip through your fingers. It's 1969, and America is buzzing. Neil Armstrong has just taken his giant leap for mankind. The Woodstock Festival is making history, and amidst all this cultural chaos, a quiet revolution is happening in your pocket. At the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies are being produced. But among those millions, a tiny fraction holds a secret, a rare error that would go unnoticed for decades but would one day skyrocket in value. Why? Because of a minting mistake so rare and so fascinating that collectors can't get enough of it. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth millions? That sounds too good to be true. But here's where the plot thickens. These pennies weren't just minted with your standard design. Due to a mishap during production, some coins were double-die obverse errors. This means that elements on the front of the coin, like the date or the inscriptions, appear doubled under magnification. It's subtle, but unmistakable once you know what to look for. Here's the kicker. Not every 1969 penny is worth a fortune, and that's where most people miss out. Let me ask you this. How often do you really check your change? Probably not as much as you should. This is where the fear kicks in. Right now, you could have a 1969 double-die penny sitting in a jar or tucked away in a drawer, completely unnoticed. Imagine realizing years from now that you let a fortune slip through your hands because you didn't know what to look for. So, how do you spot one of these elusive treasures? Look closely at the date, 1969, and the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If the text appears slightly doubled, you might be holding one of the rarest pennies ever minted. But don't rely on your naked eye alone. Grab a magnifying glass or take the coin to an expert for verification. And while you're at it, make sure you're checking for that all-important D mint mark under the date. That's the sign it was minted in Denver. Now, let's shift gears for a moment. Imagine this. You found a 1969 double-die penny. Your heart's racing, your hands are shaking, and you're thinking, what now? Here's the exciting part. These coins have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auction. The most notable sale? A staggering $3.8 million for a single penny. Yes, a coin that could have once bought a stick of gum now holds the power to completely transform your financial future. Think about what you could do with that money. Pay off your mortgage, travel the world, or secure a comfortable retirement. The possibilities are endless. But here's the twist. Just because you find one doesn't mean you're guaranteed millions. The value depends on its condition and whether it's authenticated by professional grading services. A penny in pristine condition will always fetch more than one that's been scratched or worn. So, handle it carefully and consider having it graded by experts like PCGS or NGC to maximize its value. Before we move on, let's pause for a reality check. Have you ever stopped to think about the stories your coins could tell? Every penny you hold has passed through countless hands and witnessed untold moments of history. It's not just metal, it's a time capsule. And some, like the 1969 double-die penny, carry stories so extraordinary that they're worth millions. So, the next time you're about to toss your spare change into a jar, ask yourself, could this be my golden ticket? Now, here's where the urgency comes in. Rare coins like these are becoming harder to find as collectors snatch them up and prices continue to rise. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances of cashing in on this incredible opportunity. Don't be the person who looks back years from now and regrets not taking action. Start checking your change today, and don't stop until you've turned over every penny. And just when you thought the story was over, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. What if I told you there's another penny out there that's even rarer than the 1969 double-die? Stay tuned for my next video, where I reveal another hidden treasure you might already own. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. 1975 Lincoln penny. One that looks just like the spare change jingling in your pocket, could be worth up to $3.5 million? Yes, you heard that right. $3.5 million for one small coin. But here's the kicker. Most people have no idea they're holding onto a fortune. So, how do you know if you have one? Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the elusive 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, its current market value, and how to cash in if you strike gold, or rather, copper. To truly understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to start with its backstory. The 1975 Lincoln penny was minted during an era of transition and tight controls at the U.S. Mint. Most pennies from that year were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they were stamped with corresponding mint marks. But some pennies slipped through the cracks. For reasons still debated among collectors, a very small number of these coins were minted without any mark at all. At first glance, a no-mint mark coin might seem ordinary. But this tiny flaw transforms it from everyday pocket change into one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin-collecting world. And here's where it gets interesting. The scarcity of this coin creates its astronomical value. People are willing to pay millions for the rare opportunity to own one. Now, you might be thinking, okay, But what makes this penny worth that much? Why not $10,000 or $100,000? That brings us to Act 2. Every collector dreams of finding the rare 1975 no-mint mark penny, and it's not just about the money. Owning such a coin is like holding a piece of history, a tangible relic of a time gone by. And for those hunting for it, the stakes couldn't be higher. The most recent auction for one of these pennies shattered records, selling for over $3.5 million. The reason for this jaw-dropping price is twofold: rarity and condition. You see, it's not enough to simply have a 1975 no-mint mark penny. To command top dollar, it must also be in pristine condition. Coins graded at a high level, such as MS 67 or MS 68 by professional grading services, are where the real money lies. But don't despair just yet. Even a lower-grade 1975 no-mint mark penny can still fetch thousands of dollars. Here's a fun question. When was the last time you really looked at your spare change? Be honest. Most of us toss it into a jar, forgetting it exists. But what if, right now, you have a multi-million-dollar penny sitting in that jar? Take a second to let that sink in. Speaking of sinking, let's not drown in the details. Here's the transition you've been waiting for. How do you tell if your penny is the one? Let's move to Act 3. The first thing you'll want to do is inspect your 1975 pennies closely. Does it have a mint mark? If so, it's not the jackpot we're talking about. But if it doesn't, you might be onto something. Look at the coin's condition. Is it shiny and free from scratches, or does it show significant wear? Next, you'll want to have the coin professionally graded. There are services like PCGS and NGC that specialize in authenticating and grading rare coins. Without their certification, it's much harder to convince buyers of your coin's value. And trust me, with $3.5 million at stake, authentication is non-negotiable. But here's the cliffhanger. Even if you don't have the elusive no-mint mark penny, there are other rare 1975 pennies and coins that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Have you checked for errors like double dies or off-center strikes? These mistakes can also fetch impressive sums. Before you start flipping over every couch cushion, let me ask you this. What would you do with $3.5 million? Would you pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Or maybe start that business you've always dreamed of? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to know. Now, here's the final twist. Even if you don't have this particular coin, learning to spot rare pennies can open up a whole new world of possibilities. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the chance to transform small change into big bucks. That's the power of knowledge. And who knows? The next time you reach into your pocket, you just might find your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. Where we dive into a coin that could change your life forever. The 1985 D Mint Mark Lincoln Penny. Yes, you heard that right. This little piece of copper and zinc could be worth a staggering $3.3 million. If you've got one tucked away, you're sitting on what could be a fortune. Stick around because I'm about to show you exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you can cash in before it's too late. Let's start with a quick question. When was the last time you checked the pennies in your change jar? Most of us ignore them, right? But what if I told you that one of those pennies could mean early retirement? It's funny, isn't it? The things we overlook often hold the most value. So, grab your coins because you might just be holding history in your hands. Here's the big reveal. Not all 1985 D pennies are created equal. A few rare ones have traits that make them extraordinarily valuable. Let's dig into why. First, the D Mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver. Back in 1985, millions of pennies were produced, but errors occurred during the minting process. These errors, which include double die strikes or unusual finishes, make these coins highly sought after by collectors. You're going through an old drawer or maybe a piggy bank you haven't touched in years. Suddenly, you spot a penny that looks a little different. That could be the one. But how do you know for sure? Stay with me, because we'll get to that in just a moment. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone pay millions for a penny? Here's why. It's not just about the coin itself. It's about rarity, history, and demand. People are willing to pay astronomical sums for something they know no one else has. That's where the excitement begins. Let's get practical. How do you identify one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets? First, Examine the coin's details. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if you have one. Look for doubling in the letters, numbers, or images on the coin. Pay close attention to the 1985 date and the D mint mark. Even the smallest flaw could be your ticket to financial freedom. Here's a quick tip. Compare your penny to a standard 1985 D penny. If you notice differences, you might have something special. And don't forget about the condition of the coin. Coins in pristine condition, also known as mint state, fetch the highest prices at auctions. If your penny is clean, shiny, and free of wear, you're in luck. But let's pause for a second. How many of us have been told that something we have is valuable, only to find out it's not? It's like being told your grandma's old lamp is a priceless antique, only to learn it's from a discount store. That's why you need to verify your coin's value through experts. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to do just that. Alright, let's say you've found a promising penny. What's next? Here's where the rubber meets the road. First, have your coin professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which determines its market value. A coin with a high grade and rare minting errors can fetch jaw-dropping amounts at auction. Speaking of auctions, you'll want to find the right platform. Heritage auctions and eBay are excellent places to start. But here's a pro tip: don't rush to sell. The market for rare coins fluctuates, and timing your sale can make a huge difference in how much you earn. Now, here's a cliffhanger for you. Did you know there are collectors who are actively searching for these pennies right now? In fact, one recent sale for a 1985 D penny brought in over $1.2 million. Could yours be next? Stick with me because I'll show you exactly how to position your coin for maximum value. Before we wrap up, let's recap. We've covered the unique traits that make the 1985 D Lincoln penny so valuable, how to identify if you have one, and the steps to take to turn it into a life-changing windfall. But here's the thing. Opportunities like this don't come around often. If you're serious about cashing in, you need to act now. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing you're financially free because of a penny you found in your change jar. That could be your reality. So, what are you waiting for? Check your pockets, your drawers, and your jars. And if you find something that matches what we've discussed, don't hesitate. Get it graded, get it listed, and claim your piece of history. This tiny coin could change my life? Well, today we're diving into a fascinating story of one particular Lincoln penny from 1986, a penny that could be worth up to $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine discovering a coin so rare and valuable that it could transform your financial future. But here's the catch. Not everyone knows how to spot this elusive treasure. Could you be holding one right now without even knowing it? Stick with me to find out. Let's start with the backstory. The 1986 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was making some subtle yet crucial changes to their processes. Most pennies from that year bear a small mint mark, D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a rare anomaly occurred when a batch of pennies was produced without any mint mark at all. This error turned an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. Collectors and investors alike are willing to pay astronomical sums for these coins due to their rarity and historical significance. Now, here's where it gets exciting. A flawless, uncirculated 1986 no-mint mark penny has sold for over $3 million in private auctions. Let that sink in for a moment. That's not just life-changing money. It's the kind of wealth that could fund your retirement, buy your dream home, or let you travel the world without a care in the world. But why are collectors so obsessed with this particular penny? And what makes it worth more than its weight in gold? I'll answer that in just a minute. Before we dive into the factors that make this coin so valuable, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your loose change? Most of us toss our pennies into a jar or ignore them altogether. But what if I told you that ignoring your pocket change could be like walking past a winning lottery ticket? Think about it. The next time you're digging through your coin jar or getting change at the store, that unassuming penny could be the key to financial freedom. So how can you identify this rare gem? First, examine the year. It must be 1986. Next, look for the absence of a mint mark under the date. If you see a D or an S, it's just a regular penny. But if there's no mark at all, you might be holding a rare treasure. Hold on, though there's one more step. The coin's condition is critical. Collectors prize uncirculated coins with no scratches, blemishes, or signs of wear. So if you've got an unmarked 1986 penny in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But here's the twist. Not every no-mint-marked 1986 penny is worth millions. Condition and grading by professional coin experts play a huge role in determining the value. This is where many people make costly mistakes. They assume their coin is worth millions without proper authentication. Don't let that happen to you. Stay tuned because I'm going to share the exact steps you need to take to authenticate and sell your coin for top dollar. And if you're wondering whether this process is worth the effort, consider this. Would you leave $3 million on the table? Let's talk about why this penny has captured so much attention. It's not just the rarity. It's also the thrill of discovery. Collectors are drawn to coins like these because they tell a story of human error and serendipity. Think about it. A simple mistake at the mint turned an everyday penny into a legendary artifact. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected things hold the greatest value. That's why buyers are willing to compete fiercely for these coins, driving prices sky high. And if you think this kind of discovery is rare, consider this. Over the past decade, dozens of ordinary people have cashed in on rare coins found in circulation. So why not you? Now, here's the million-dollar question. How can you sell your coin for its maximum value? The first step is professional grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC specialize in authenticating and grading coins. They'll examine your penny under magnification to assess its condition and assign it a grade. A high grade significantly boosts the coin's market value. Once your coin is graded, the next step is choosing the right marketplace. Online auction platforms like Heritage Auctions or even eBay can connect you with serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. But beware of scams and lowball offers. Working with a trusted expert or auction house ensures you get the best deal. Before we wrap up, let's address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, this all sounds amazing, but what if I never find one of these pennies? And that's a fair question. But here's the thing. Opportunity doesn't knock unless you open the door. By simply taking the time to check your change and educate yourself about rare coins, you're already ahead of the game. Remember, every great discovery starts with a little curiosity and effort. And who knows? The next rare penny could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to claim it. So, what will you do the next time you spot a 1986 penny? Will you shrug it off as just another coin? Or will you take a closer look and seize the chance to change your life? The choice is yours. Today we're diving into a story that might just change your life. Imagine owning a simple penny. Yes, a penny. That could be worth up to $2.90 million. It sounds like the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster, doesn't it? But this is no movie. This is real life, and it's happening right now. So, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 2008 D. Lincoln penny so special and how it could potentially transform your financial future. Before we dive into the jaw-dropping details, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked your loose change? Go ahead and think about it. Now imagine this scenario. Buried in that pocket full of pennies is a fortune just waiting to be discovered. That's right, folks. What if I told you this seemingly ordinary 2008 D. Lincoln penny in your possession could be worth more than your car, your home, or even your retirement savings? If you're already scrambling to grab that old jar of coins, good. That sense of urgency? Hold on to it. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the secrets behind this rare coin. What makes it worth up to $2.9 million, and why you could be sitting on a life-changing opportunity. Let's break this down. The 2008 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, but not all 2008 D pennies are created equal. In fact, the ones that fetch astronomical prices are the result of a rare error. It's called a double die obverse. Simply put, the die used to stamp the penny had a defect that caused certain details, like the inscriptions or Lincoln's profile, to appear doubled. But here's the kicker. Spotting this error isn't as easy as it sounds. You'll need a sharp eye or even a magnifying glass to identify it. Look for things like doubled lettering on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Some of these coins are hiding in plain sight, and collectors are willing to pay a king's ransom to get their hands on them. Seriously, Who knew that something as tiny as a penny could outshine a luxury car? Makes you wonder if we've been looking in the wrong place for treasure all along. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why would anyone pay millions for a flawed penny? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Error coins like the 2008 D double die penny are incredibly scarce. Combine that scarcity with the thrill of owning a piece of history, and you've got a recipe for sky-high market value. Oh, and speaking of value, did you know that one of these pennies was recently appraised for a staggering $2.9 million? That's enough to retire comfortably, travel the world, or finally buy that dream home you've been eyeing. Now that you're intrigued, you're probably wondering, how do I cash in? First, take a deep breath. The last thing you want to do is sell your potential jackpot for pennies on the dollar. Start by carefully examining your 2008 D pennies. Use a magnifying glass to look for those double details. If you're unsure, consult a professional coin appraiser. They're the real MVPs when it comes to authenticating rare finds. But here's where it gets even better. Even if you don't have the $2.9 million jackpot, similar error coins have sold for thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. That's still a massive win. Wouldn't you agree? But what if I told you there's an even bigger twist to this story? One that could unlock a hidden strategy to finding these coins faster than anyone else? Stick around, because we're getting to that in just a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow with the knowledge that a tiny penny turned your life around. What would you do? Pay off your debts? Invest in your future? Treat your family to the lifestyle they've always dreamed of? You have the power to make it happen, but only if you take action. Start your hunt today. Search your coins, visit local pawn shops, and stay informed about rare finds. Because opportunities like this don't come around often, and fortune favors those who are prepared. And hey, if you find two of these million-dollar pennies, don't forget to send me a thank you note. All right? So, what are you waiting for? Go check those pennies and let us know in the comments if you strike gold. Remember, the 2008 D Lincoln penny might just be the key to unlocking your wealthy lifestyle. Until next time, happy hunting.
Imagine a small coin in your pocket, a simple penny, worth just a cent. But what if I told you that this 1 cent could be worth up to $3 million? That's not a typo. One penny, 1952, San Francisco Mint, with the S Mint mark, could transform your life forever. Before you toss that jar of spare change aside, you'll want to hear this story. Because today, we're diving deep into why this little coin is making headlines and how you could be holding on to a literal fortune without even knowing it. We'll start with a quick question. Have you ever looked closely at your loose change? No, seriously, I'm not talking about checking if it's enough for a coffee. I mean really looked at it. Because what I'm about to share will make you want to inspect every penny you've ever owned. In 1952, the San Francisco Mint produced a special batch of Lincoln pennies. Some of these coins, due to rare minting errors and unique historical factors, have become some of the most valuable coins in the world. Imagine the thrill of finding out the penny you've been using as a paperweight on your desk could be worth more than your house, your car, and your savings combined. Exciting, right? But here's the kicker, most people throw away or overlook these valuable coins because they don't know what to look for. Could that be you? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes these pennies worth millions, and how to find out if you're holding on to one right now. The San Francisco Mint was in full swing, producing millions of Lincoln pennies. But not all pennies were created equal. Some coins came off the production line with unique features, minor imperfections, rare die marks, or double strikes. These anomalies, while small, turned these coins into treasures for collectors decades later. Here's what you're looking for: the S Mint mark, which signifies the coin was minted in San Francisco. But not just any 1952 S penny will make you rich. The most valuable ones often have errors, like a double die, which means some letters or numbers appear to be stamped twice. Imagine the year 1952 looking like it has a slight shadow. Or a repunched mint mark, where the S seems to have been stamped over itself. These little quirks, almost invisible to the naked eye, can turn an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you even thought about a penny's mint mark? You're not alone, most people don't. But here's where the urgency kicks in. These rare coins aren't just sitting around forever. Collectors and dealers are actively searching for them, and every day, more of these pennies are found and sold, meaning your chance to cash in might be slipping away. So, how do you know if you have a 1952's penny worth millions? First, grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera. Examine your pennies for the S mint mark below the date. Then, look closely for doubling on the numbers or letters and check the mint mark for any signs of repunching. Now, here's a pattern interrupt for you. Imagine explaining to your family why you're squinting at pennies for hours. "I'm looking for my retirement fund," you'd say. And you wouldn't be wrong, but here's the cliffhanger: if you find one, what's next? Don't rush to sell it at your local pawn shop. Instead, consult a reputable coin appraiser or auction house. They'll help you get the best price, and with a coin worth millions, that could make all the difference. And if you're wondering what happens to these coins after they're sold, let me tell you this: they often end up in the collections of the world's wealthiest individuals. Yes, your humble penny could be sitting in a billionaire's vault someday. So, what are you waiting for? That jar of coins in your closet could hold your ticket to financial freedom. Start searching today, because every second you wait is a second someone else might be cashing in. Remember, wealth isn't always about what you earn. Sometimes, it's about what you already have. And for all you know, your next step to a wealthy lifestyle could be lying at the bottom of your coin jar. Keep dreaming big, keep checking those coins. 1964 Lincoln penny with the elusive D mint mark. This little coin, easily overlooked, has been turning heads in the rare coin market and is now valued at an astonishing $2.7 million. Yes, you heard that right, millions for a single penny. But what makes it so special? And could you have one sitting unnoticed in your collection? Let's dive into the incredible story of the 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny, why collectors are willing to pay such astronomical prices, and how you can identify if you've struck gold, or copper. In this case, for most people, pennies are nothing more than spare change, tossed in a jar, lost in a couch, or used to round off a transaction. But in the numismatic world, pennies can be a treasure trove, especially when they're tied to a fascinating historical backstory. The 1964 D Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. Minted in Denver during a time of significant changes in U.S. coinage, this penny became part of a historical anomaly. Here's where it gets intriguing: a handful of these pennies were struck on planchets, the blank discs used to make coins, that weren't supposed to be in circulation. Some experts believe these anomalies occurred due to mix-ups at the mint during a hectic production year. Whatever the reason, these mistakes have created a gold rush among collectors. Now, let me ask you this: when was the last time you checked your loose change? Could you be sitting on a penny worth millions without even knowing it? Hold that thought as we dig deeper into what makes this coin so valuable. So, why is the 1964 D penny worth $2.7 million? The answer lies in its rarity and the fervor it inspires among collectors. Numismatists, those are professional coin enthusiasts, in case you're wondering, are willing to pay a fortune for coins that tell a story, coins that are rare, and coins that are in impeccable condition. Imagine this: out of the millions of pennies minted in Denver that year, only a few exhibit the unique traits that make this coin so sought after. These include a distinctive minting error, a specific weight or metal composition, or even a small but crucial detail in its design. Here's the kicker: one of these coins sold at auction for $2.7 million. That's not just a number, that's a down payment on a dream lifestyle. Imagine the vacations, the home upgrades, or even the complete financial freedom that could come from a single penny. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But here's the twist: many people have these coins sitting in their possession without realizing their worth. Some have even thrown them away, not knowing they tossed a fortune into the trash. Before you go rummaging through every coin jar in your house, let's talk about how to identify if you have one of these rare pennies. First, grab a magnifying glass or a smartphone with a zoom function. Look closely at the date, 1964, and the small D mint mark below it, which indicates it was minted in Denver. Next, inspect the coin for any peculiarities. Does it have unusual lettering, an odd texture, or seem slightly heavier or lighter than a regular penny? These are clues that could point to its rarity. If you're unsure, consult a professional coin appraiser or take it to a trusted numismatic organization. The stakes are too high to leave this to guesswork, but don't wait too long. The market for rare coins can shift, and urgency is key. If collectors are willing to pay top dollar today, there's no guarantee that demand will remain as high tomorrow. Now that you know the story behind the 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny, let me leave you with this. What if that life-changing coin is closer than you think? What if it's hiding in your junk drawer, at the bottom of your piggy bank, or even in that penny someone gave you as change at the grocery store? Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Take action now. Start searching, get your coins appraised, and who knows, you could be the next millionaire made by a single penny. Remember, it's not just about the money, it's about the freedom and possibilities that come with it. So, what are you waiting for? The clock is ticking, and your treasure might be closer than you think. How much is a penny really worth? Not much, right? But what if I told you that one specific penny in your pocket right now could be worth up to $2.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark could completely change your life. Imagine finding it, selling it, and suddenly living a lifestyle you've only dreamed of. But here's the catch: you might already own this rare gem and not even know it. Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you how to identify this penny and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of hidden treasures hiding in plain sight? Let's be honest, when was the last time you even looked closely at a penny? Don't worry, most people don't. But after watching this, you'll never see spare change the same way again. The story of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is as intriguing as it is valuable. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally does not stamp a mint mark. But what sets this penny apart is its exceptional rarity and unique errors, which makes it a prize for serious collectors. Here's where it gets fascinating: these rare pennies weren't supposed to exist in the condition they're found in. Some have unusual double die strikes, while others exhibit pristine, untouched surfaces, despite being over 50 years old. Collectors are willing to pay jaw-dropping amounts for these errors because they represent a piece of minting history that's nearly impossible to replicate. Now, here's what should concern you: for every rare penny someone finds, thousands of others go unnoticed, lost forever in the shuffle of spare change. Imagine letting $2.6 million slip through your fingers because you didn't take a few seconds to check your coins. But how do you know if you have one of these million-dollar pennies? That's what we're uncovering next. Here's what you need to do to determine if you're holding the jackpot penny. First, check the date. It must say 1971, and there should be no mint mark beneath the year. This means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, look for any unusual features, like doubling on the letters or numbers, sharp details in Lincoln's hair, or an overall pristine condition. Now, let's talk value. If your penny meets these criteria, you're looking at a potential value ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, depending on its condition. The highest recorded sale of a 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny fetched $2.6 million at auction. That's not just money, that's a life-changing fortune. But wait, how can you be sure your penny is the real deal? And what's the best way to sell it to maximize your profit? Don't make the rookie mistake of undervaluing it. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly how to authenticate your coin and connect with the right buyers to cash in big. By the way, if you're currently dumping your piggy bank on the floor, you're not alone. Welcome to the club. To ensure your penny is authentic, consult a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will examine your coin and provide a certification of its condition and value. Once you have that, it's time to sell. Auctions, rare coin dealers, and even online platforms like heritage auctions can connect you with collectors who are ready to pay top dollar. Here's the thing, the market for rare coins is booming right now, but trends can change. Don't wait too long to act. That penny sitting in your collection could lose value if you don't seize the moment. So, what are you waiting for? Start searching through your spare change and old coin collections today. Because the next time someone tells you a penny for your thoughts, you'll know your thoughts are worth millions. And who knows, the path to your wealthy lifestyle might just start with a simple coin in your hand. A coin that could be worth up to $2.4 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you, you could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Today, we're talking about the 1976 Lincoln penny, and it could be worth way more than you think. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just discover that rare penny in your collection could make you rich. Don't go anywhere, this is information you can't afford to miss. 1976 was a monumental year. Not only was it the bicentennial of the United States, but the coins that were minted that year tell a hidden story of fortune and rarity. The 1976 Lincoln penny seems like just another regular coin, but trust me, there's much more to this penny than meets the eye. You see, while most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, there's a very specific version of the 1976 penny that could bring in millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, millions. Wait a minute, don't go running to your piggy banks just yet. I'm not saying every 1976 penny will make you a millionaire. If that were the case, I'd be sitting here on a yacht somewhere, not in front of a camera. But if you've got the right one, you're in for something special. So, what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny worth so much money? It all comes down to something you probably wouldn't expect, a simple error in the minting process. This error is rare, incredibly rare, and it involves a double die obverse. That's right, a flawed design. Coins with a double die error happen when the die used to stamp the coin doesn't line up perfectly. The result? A distorted image, especially noticeable in the Lincoln portrait and the date. The 1976 Lincoln penny with this mistake is so scarce that it can sell for up to $2.4 million. That's no exaggeration, these error coins have changed lives. Hold on, you're probably wondering, how can a penny be worth more than a mansion? Well, the short answer is, it's not just a penny, it's a rarity, and rarities are valuable. Think of it like a one-of-a-kind baseball card or a unique painting by a famous artist. There's nothing like it in the world. But how do you actually find one of these million-dollar pennies? Well, it starts by knowing exactly what to look for. Now, let's talk about how you can identify the 1976 double die penny in your collection. First, check the date and Lincoln's portrait. The double die error will make the date and Lincoln's face look slightly blurred or doubled, especially in the 76 of the date. But here's the kicker, even if you think you found a double die error, it's critical to get it authenticated. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking they've found something valuable, only to have it turn out to be a fake or minor imperfection that's not worth much at all. The market is flooded with counterfeits, and you don't want to get caught up in that trap. Once you've confirmed that your 1976 Lincoln penny is the real deal, the next step is to get it in front of the right buyer. A coin dealer, an auction house, or even a private buyer who understands the true value of rare pennies. Remember, this isn't just about finding the penny, it's about selling it for its true worth. But, what if I told you that there's one thing you could do to increase the value of your penny by even more? Stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal the most important step in selling your rare coins. Now, I know what you're thinking, is my 1976 Lincoln penny worth millions, or is it just another coin in the jar? Here's the truth, you may have something extraordinary, but only by knowing how to authenticate, market, and sell it properly will you unlock its full potential. If you've got a penny that looks like it could be the one, don't waste any time, act now before it's too late. Just think, this could be the chance you've been waiting for. The opportunity to sell something that could transform your life. One coin could open the door to a wealthier, freer lifestyle. So, check your collection, act quickly, and who knows? You might just find your ticket to millions. Well, it's not. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to wealth, and today, we're diving deep into its mystery, its value, and how you can turn it into a fortune. But you've got to act fast, because time is running out on discovering these hidden treasures. What if I told you this small, unassuming penny could be worth up to $2.1 million? That's right, a single penny, worth more than most people's homes. Stay tuned, because we're going to reveal how to spot these rare pennies and how you can sell them for life-changing amounts of cash. But first, let me ask you this: are you ready to change your financial future? So, let's break it down. The 1984 no-mint mark penny isn't just any penny. Most of us have seen the 1984 Lincoln penny, it's everywhere, right? But, what if I told you that a small minting error, one that most people would never notice, could turn your typical 1984 penny into something worth millions? The reason this penny is so valuable is because, unlike most coins, it lacks a mint mark, which is typically stamped on each coin to indicate where it was made. But wait, here's the thing. You've got to know how to spot the difference between a regular 1984 penny and the one that's worth $2.1 million. And trust me, it's easy to miss. This is where the excitement and the fear kick in. Pause, showing various coins and zooming in on a specific penny. Now, imagine this: you walk into a coin shop or even a pawn shop with your 1984 penny in hand, thinking it's just another old coin. The person behind the counter takes one look and bam! They make an offer of thousands of dollars. What went wrong? Well, that person might have just discovered something you missed, an error coin that could fetch millions in the right market. This is the fear I'm talking about. You could be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. But don't panic. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. And I'll give you the exact steps on how to get your hands on that cash. The good news: you're in the right place. The bad news: the longer you wait, the less chance you have of getting your hands on that rare 1984 no-mint mark penny. So, let's jump into the details of what makes this coin so special. Now, let's get into the details of how you can identify this rare penny. The 1984 no-mint mark penny looks almost identical to a regular 1984 Lincoln penny, except for one crucial detail: the absence of the mint mark. To identify it, you need to check the reverse side of the penny, where the mint mark would typically be located below the date. If you don't see a mint mark there, congratulations, you might have a real treasure on your hands. But remember, this isn't the only factor. The condition of the coin is just as important. Coins in excellent condition, with minimal wear and tear, will fetch a higher price. So, if you've got a pristine 1984 no-mint mark penny, the chances of it being worth a fortune just went up significantly. Now, here's the best part. Selling this penny could be as easy as listing it with the right buyer. But don't just take it to any pawn shop or coin dealer. You need to know where to sell it to get top dollar. I'll reveal the top 3 places to sell your 1984 no-mint mark penny, but you need to stick around until the end of this video for that, because the information I'm about to share could make or break your chances of selling it for a fortune. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the ultimate game changer: auction houses. In our final moments together, I'll show you how these prestigious venues can multiply your penny's value exponentially. But, is the time right for you to cash in on your penny now, or should you wait for the market to climb higher? You might be surprised by the answer. Make sure you stay until the end to find out how to make your move at the perfect moment. Here's your action plan: you've got the information, now it's time to take action. Search through your change, your old coin collections, and your family's heirlooms. Is there a 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny hiding in there? Don't wait too long. The market for rare coins is unpredictable, and someone else might discover your treasure before you do. If you're serious about selling rare coins and living a wealthy lifestyle, start educating yourself. Subscribe to this channel for more tips, tricks, and in-depth guides on selling rare pennies and turning your coin collection into a fortune. And if you think you're sitting on a goldmine, but aren't sure how to get started, don't worry. I've got resources that'll point you in the right direction. The clock is ticking, and your $1,000,000 coin might just be one look away from changing your life. What if I told you that one tiny coin, a 2004 Lincoln penny, could be worth up to $1,000,000? Yes, you heard that right, $1,000,000. Imagine what that could do for your life. Think of all the dreams you could achieve, the freedom you could have. But, and here's the catch, only a select few will ever find this coin. Is your penny one of them? Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot it, how to sell it, and how to cash in on your rare fortune. Stay with me because you won't believe what you could have been overlooking in your own collection. Now, let's start with the basics. The 2004 Lincoln penny, what makes it so special? Most of the time, a penny is just a penny, right? You toss them into a jar or leave them behind on the sidewalk without a second thought. But here's where it gets interesting, there's a very rare version of the 2004 penny that could be worth a small fortune. The key? It has no mint mark. For most coins, you'll find a mint mark, either a D for Denver or a S for San Francisco. But in 2004, the US Mint accidentally released a small batch of pennies with absolutely no mint mark. And while most of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the lack of the mint mark makes them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. What does that mean for you? Well, you could have one of these coins right now and not even know it. But hold on, don't go rushing to your change jar just yet. Not all of these pennies are worth a fortune. In fact, the condition of your coin is critical. So, let's dive into that next, how to assess whether your penny is worth the big bucks. Alright, now here's where things get a little tricky. Not every 2004 no mint mark penny is worth $1,000,000. That's the reality. But, if your coin is in exceptional condition, graded as MS 67 or higher, you could be holding on to something that's worth thousands, if not millions. You see, the value of these rare coins skyrockets when they're in perfect, almost flawless condition, but how do you know if your penny qualifies? Well, it comes down to a few key things. First, does your coin have sharp, clean details? Look at Lincoln's face. Are the features clearly visible, or do they look worn down? Second, check for any scratches, dents, or discoloration. The less damage, the better. And third, get your coin professionally graded. This is where the pros come in. They'll give it an official rating that can significantly increase its value when you go to sell. But hold up, what if you've been looking at your coins the wrong way? What if your penny looks perfect to you, but you're still missing a crucial detail? And more importantly, what should you do if you find a penny that might be worth $1,000,000? We'll answer that in just a minute. Now, imagine this, you find a 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny in mint condition. You've got it, and you're thinking it could be worth a fortune. What now? Well, here's where it gets real. You've got a couple of options. First, you could try to sell it yourself through online auctions, but here's the problem, if you don't know what you're doing, you could leave money on the table. And worse, you might get scammed. The second option is working with a reputable dealer. Dealers who know what they're doing can help you get the best price for your coin. But I'll tell you this, time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the more chances you'll miss to cash in on your rare penny. These coins are hot, and they don't stay on the market for long. So, are you ready to make that life-changing decision? You could be sitting on a rare treasure right now. That penny in your pocket might just be your ticket to financial freedom. But here's the thing. This isn't going to last forever. The market for these rare coins is incredibly volatile. You need to act fast, and you need to know who to trust. So, I've got a tip for you. Stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to share the inside secret to selling your penny for top dollar. You won't find this anywhere else. Stay tuned, because in just a moment, I'll reveal where you should be selling your rare coin to get the maximum return. But before we get into that, let's take a look at some real-life examples of people who have turned their pennies into life-changing amounts of money. Alright, are you ready to get serious about turning your pennies into cash? Take a look at your collection one more time. You might just have $1 million coin on your hands. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment letting me know if you think you found a rare 2004 no mint mark penny. And don't forget to share this video. Who knows, you could be helping someone else find their fortune too. Keep hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.